Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to give my review of Mermaid Scales in the Town of Sand. This is by Yoko Komori. It is a Viz release, 2-in-1 omnibus volume complete in this release. It has nice French flaps, and it's a larger trim size, a Viz signature kind of size. This is a really beautiful story. I am not one for fantasy stories, and this isn't very fantasy-esque, but it does involve mermaids. But something about mermaids really intrigues me. I love stories about mermaids, and I have quite a bit of manga that focuses on the sea and mermaids in particular. But so even though it's not always fantasy-esque sort of things are not really my thing, anything mermaid related definitely intrigues me, and this one in particular is a slice of life story, which I love, and very kind of calming, slow-paced vibe to it, so I knew I would probably enjoy it. This is about a girl named, I think her name's Tokiko. Yes, Tokiko. She is starting 6th grade, so she's probably like 11 years old. Her parents are going through a rough patch, and she moves with her father back to her mother's hometown, a very, very small town, which she has not been to since she was very young, and probably like 4 or 5 years old, I think. And so she's starting a new school in this very small town. She's from Tokyo, and she's quite a shy, quiet girl. And the only thing she remembers about this town is that she was saved by a mermaid from drowning when she was quite small. And that's the only memory she has of the place. And so she's starting a new school. You know, some people are teasing her for being the new person, but for the most part, she's just kind of getting through her days. She's met some new friends, but she's still quite a quiet, like I said, quiet loner type of child. And so fitting in is quite tough for her, not to mention she's, her parents are clearly breaking up or not, really interested in each other anymore. And so living without her mother, this is a first for that, and living with her father and actually getting to know her father seems to be a new thing as well. And yeah, so she's just trying to cope with a lot of different things on her shoulders, and it's a really beautiful story about this young girl and this boy in her class. He becomes a prolific character as well, who both feel very kind of like outsiders, and they strike up sort of a friendship of sorts, and the overarching like myth of the town, of the mermaids that live and protect the town, and her and this boy trying to uncover the town's secrets and figure out what really is going on. I thought it was an excellent story. I was very, very intrigued. I read it in one sitting, and it was I love slice of life, so I love anything slow-paced, particularly small town sort of stories, and this one had a lot of themes of family, of friendship, of not fitting in, of small town mindset versus city kind of mindset, and yeah, I really enjoyed the sort of overall conversation about divorce, and in this case, this girl choosing to live with her father, or ending up living with her father, I guess, when she really doesn't know him very well, because he was constantly at work. And so there's a really beautiful kind of awkwardness to it of, this dad who's now losing the woman he loves and is with his daughter, and kind of realizing like, oh, like I'm losing my marriage, I'm losing my wife, but we have this lovely child who I barely know, and now I'm going to try and get to know her. And so his awkwardness of like trying to kind of pick up 11 years late, and start a relationship with his daughter, and then the daughter also kind of understanding and picking up on the fact that it is quite awkward for the two of them to try and bond and be in each other's space because they're not really used to that. Um, and Yeah, it's really well told, and I thought that the whole kind of mystery around surrounding the town and all of that was such a interesting sort of thing, because like we see this in manga a lot, where it's particularly a small town. It's got its own myths and legends and stuff about the town and the different guardians who protect the town and all this stuff. And I thought that this one really offered something that I hadn't seen before. Um, and I will certainly not be spoiling what is all going on in the town, but I just really, really loved it. And I certainly didn't see that coming. And it really did surprise me, and I thought it was well done. So while it is a very great slice of life story about this young girl kind of coming into her own sense of self and kind of being witness to her parents' crumbling relationship, it's also a really interesting story about this small town and the secrets that are kept there. And yeah, I really loved it, and the artwork is beautiful. Lots of really gorgeous scenes of the town, of the ocean. I love the character designs. I think that she is such an adorable character. I think all of them look really, really great. It's a kind of more wispy character design that I really, really appreciate. But yeah, no, this is excellent. I highly recommend picking this up. If anything I said sounds interesting to you, yeah, it's a really beautiful story, and I will certainly, this will be one I will reread for sure. It's got a bit of sadness in it, but it's not overly, depressing or anything, and it's relatively lighthearted for the most part, but also, some more serious themes, but handled really beautifully and quite calmly. I guess it's a calming read despite some of the more sad topics that are discussed in it. But yeah, no, this is a really great story. I'm glad to have it, and I'm glad we got it in a nice single release. But yeah, anyway, if you've read it, love to hear your thoughts on it. If you have any suggestions of things that are similar, by all means, would love to hear it. But yeah, thanks for watching.